killer's not trash. The killer's the most dog shit, boring, dumb, boring, and did I mention boring killer I've ever seen.
So, this PTB for the upcoming chapter has had a mixed reception, to say the least. A lot of people were disappointed with what was showcased in the PTB for the Tools of Torment chapter. There are hypotheses about how it may have been supposed to be a licensed chapter for Predator, however the contract for the license would have supposedly been dropped. In this theory, the DBD developers BHVR would have had to rush the chapter to release it in time and use some of the assets they had already made for Predator. Let's quickly check out the similarities between this chapter and the Predator lore. Some of those might seem like they're far-stretched, but keep in mind that this is just speculation. We're only having fun comparing the two, so don't take this too seriously. First, we'll have a look at the survivors. Thalita and Renato Lira, a Brazilian duo. They are brother and sister, both passionate about kite fighting. It's very easy to make parallel with the 2022 Predator movie Prey, where the protagonists Naru and Tabe, young Comanche hunters, are also brother and sister. In the DBD lore, Thalita and Renato go deep into the forest to track a drone they spotted. This is where they encounter Adriana Imai, the skull merchant. The movie Prey is also set in the forest, where Naru and Tabe encounter the Predator. The new perks are centered around teamwork, community values, stealth, and survival. They can also make sense lore-wise if you apply them to Naru and Tabe. Naru is initially more of a healer than a huntress, contrary to her brother Tabe. And if you look at these two teamwork perks, which are meant to be complementary perks, one requires you to be the healer and the other one to be healed by a teammate, in order to benefit from their respective effects. In conclusion, Naru and Tabe could have been the two survivors the devs initially wanted to introduce instead of Thalita and Renato. Let's have a closer look at the killer, Adriana Imai, the daughter of a manga writer. She basically becomes a huntress, tracking prey with drones and collecting the skull as trophy. Just like the skull merchant, predators are hunters, using advanced technology to stalk and kill their prey, and famously collect the skull as trophy as well. Let's check out the skull merchant's accessories. The most obvious comparison is about her base weapon, her dual blades. Very similar to Predator's wrist blades, they both carry them on their right arms. You could also notice the nails on her left hand. Although it's mostly meant to fit her sparkly personality, so this is most likely a big stretch, but it does give her somewhat Predator hands. Adriana has a diamond gas mask covering her mouth and half of her face, again allegedly reflecting her flashy character. The eye lens is the same she uses on the drones. It doesn't really translate to anything gameplay wise, but maybe they had explored the idea of giving her infrared vision just like Predator's biomask, which helps them track their prey. Adriana's tracking tools are drones and the scanner she carries on her left hand. I can think of no real distinctive device in the Predator's technological arsenal that can be compared to the drones, but I could talk about the Predator's built-in computer on their left arm gauntlet. This gauntlet controls their biomask vision mode and has been shown to provide holographic scans of areas, basically a more advanced radar. Now I would like for you to listen to Adriana's scanner VFX. You can now compare it to the Predator's device sounds when he types into it. Take a look at the red characters from the Yautja alphabet. The red lights from the top of the drones are scattered in a similar way. Staying on the subject of red dots, Predators aim at their prey with the help of 3 dotted lasers. Survivors locked on by the drones get a 3 dotted icon on the HUD. Still on the topic of iconography, Predators can lock in on their targets through triangulation. Adriana's logo is also a triangular shape, although it was probably inspired by Scanet's logo in Terminator. The claw traps on Survivor's shoulders have a similar look to this Predator's device, which traps its victims in a wire net. And finally, I want to talk about the mori. Everyone noticed the animation is similar to Freddy's mori, while in Freddy's case, the Survivor's confusion is explained by them being in a dream world setting. It doesn't make sense why in Adriana's case, the survivor wouldn't notice the killer is right behind them. So, spoilers ahead, it was probably meant to replicate this next scene in the movie Prey. The survivor's reaction makes so much more sense when you imagine the killer is actually supposed to be cloaked right behind them like the Predator. While the skull merchant gaining undetectable status when they stay in an active drone's range can be seen as the equivalent of the Predator's cloak. My guess is they initially wanted to give her a visual effect in this context, and maybe explain it to the drones somehow affecting the survivors by blurring their vision, and perhaps the devs couldn't implement this idea in time or decided against it for gameplay reasons. We can't know for sure. There we have it. These are the similarities I can think of when comparing the skull merchant to the Predator. Again, Don't take this too seriously, this is far-stretched speculation, and all these elements are more likely just inspiration rather than evidence of a drop license. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.